And then he froze his feet. He caused all this controversy to try to get traded. He badmouthed the coach. He badmouthed the quarterback. He badmouthed the general manager. Never played it down and then got cut. If you just stick to the football field, he's a Steeler legend. That 6-year stretch that he had is literally unmatched. If you had Antonio Brown on your fantasy league team, he led you to fantasy league football victories. Him by himself. Does he deserve to have his number retired? Absolutely not. You can't be bad-mouthing your quarterback like that. He burned every bridge that Pittsburgh has. And there's a whole bunch of bridges in Pittsburgh. But is he still a Steeler legend based on what he did on the field? 100% absolutely.
Welcome to Big B Daily. No frauds allowed.
So what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Big B Daily. This is your man, Big B, Brian Hanley. Good morning, good morning, good morning. What is going on, everybody? It is Thursday. Good Thursday today. Man, the NBA Finals finally starts tonight. It seems like it's been forever since we've had a basketball game. But here we are. Here we are, and we are going to get this thing up and moving. So appreciate everybody being in here. Thank you guys for showing up as always. Talking a little Kyler Murray says that he is locked in. I'm actually looking for Arizona to have a pretty significant bounce back year this year. I'm looking for them to take a big step forward in year two of the new regime there. Kyler Murray looks locked in after not being around after this torn ACL 2 years ago. Looks to be locked in. Team looks to be better. I think they're going to have a significant jump. Having said that, still probably will finish in the bottom of that division, but I'm looking for them to be better this season. Kyrie and LeBron. And LeBron has been gushing all over Kyrie. Part of that is because LeBron can't stand not being in the spotlight, that nothing is going on that contains him. Look, I'm a LeBron fan, but as y'all know, I'm an honest one. And part of this is LeBron just cannot stand not being in the headlines. So he's got to do whatever he can to talk about somebody, and this is where he is. So yeah, this is what it is, man. But Kyrie is reciprocating, talking about how he loves LeBron and relishes their friendship. And then we're obviously going to get into the NBA Finals. That's finally starting tonight. So appreciate everybody being in here. Thank you guys for showing up. Again, if you like the show, want to participate in the show, want to help support the show, again, you know how to do that. There's super chats, there's tips, there's likes, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff, whatever suits you. Again, if you want to kind of drive the show, especially on YouTube, remember, the super chat will help always get you your question, statement, all that good stuff put up there. So let's get into the show, people. So first things first, Kyler Murray says that he is locked in on the season. Says that you can tell that things are different in year two. New head coach last season. He was out for most of the season, recovering from ACL that he had torn the season before. Looks to be in better shape. He looks locked in. You know, from what we're seeing out of OTAs, out of Arizona. I believe Arizona, now they're not going to be relevant in the playoffs. I don't believe so. But I do think they're going to win anywhere between 5 and 8 games this year. I think they're going to have a better season. Now, their division is tough. It's tough. I mean, the Rams are going to be good. Obviously, the 49ers are going to be good. And Seattle is good. So it's going to be tough for them to get over the hump. So I still suspect that they finish at the bottom of that division. But I think it's going to be one of the better divisions in football because I believe Arizona will be better than expected. I believe even getting rid of Hollywood Brown, Marvin Harrison Jr., From what they have, I just believe that they are going to have a better team. It's going to take a while for them to get better. They were truly rebuilding. They didn't trade. I know there was talk about trading Kyler. So there was talk about that, but we'll see. Somebody asking, how are the Rams going to be good? Do you watch football? Because if you watch football, you know the Rams are going to be good. I mean, I don't know why you don't think they're going to be good. They were good last year. And yeah, they lost Aaron Donald. That hurts. But their defense wasn't very good last year. The Rams are going to be good. That's how they're going to be good. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. But yeah, Arizona, I think, is going to take a step forward. We'll see how it all goes. We'll see how it all goes. I am one of the people that actually root for Kyler Murray. I do think all that stuff about him playing video games and not watching film, I believed all that. I mean, you're not putting that in somebody's contract if that's not true. Not only did they put it in the contract, Kyler Murray signed it. So he knew, just like everybody knew. And then it got leaked, and then it was a problem. But don't tell me that all that stuff about him not watching film and playing video games, you can't tell me that stuff's not true. You can't tell me that, because it is. Because, again, Arizona put it in the contract. Kyler Murray and his representatives saw it in the contract. They signed the contract without having them remove it. So clearly it was an issue. It was an issue. That's all I'm saying. So that's all I'm saying. But whatever. Kyler Murray is overrated. Somebody's not watching football, but I get it. That's kind of what you do on that platform. People just say anything. But that's kind of why we don't pay that much of attention to you. But yeah, I think he's going to be locked in. They're rebuilding. They're absolutely rebuilding, and we'll see exactly what happens with Arizona. We'll see what happens. So I think they'll be okay. I think they will be okay. Again, they're going to be at the bottom of that division, so we'll see. But Kyler Murray, if they get consistent line play, I'm not saying their offensive line has to be the best in the league, but if they can just get some consistency, if they can do that and run the ball a little bit, they're going to have a good offense. That much I know. They will have a good offense. So that much I know. My man, you keep saying the same thing over and over again, and I'm not going to respond. So you can stop when you're ready. I knew there was a reason. I tell everybody to come on over from that platform. Please do that. Please do that. So, oh my goodness. Let's move on. I apologize, people. It's been one of those mornings already. But we're going to get after. But I like Kyler Murray. I think they're going to be fine. Not, again, bottom of that division, but they will be fine. They will be fine. So let's talk about this Kyrie and LeBron sharing, appreciation for each other. I mean, they've been going back and forth the last couple of days talking about it. Look, I'll be the first person to admit, like I mentioned before, Kyrie or let me take that back. Let me start here. Let me say this. LeBron James cannot stand that he is not in the headlines. He can't stand it that nobody's talking about him. I am a big LeBron fan. I think LeBron is an outstanding person, basketball player, and I say person from what we know about him, because we don't really know these people. But I'm also one of those honest fans that can tell you LeBron has to have the spotlight on him. And why he is going out of his way to talk about Kyrie now, we know why. Because nobody's talking about him. So, nobody's talking about him. Now, some people, and this was pointed out to me, that maybe it's strategic because he's trying to take some of the shine off of what people are saying about his son. Okay, I can get with that, because he's trying to eliminate what people are bad mouthing his son, so he wants to step to the forefront. Okay, I can dig that. I can dig that. However, I think that Kyler Murray, or not Kyler Murray, I think that Kyrie needs to have the shine himself. LeBron doesn't need to do that. So he doesn't need to do that. He can, yeah, somebody pointed out, you can like and admire someone, but not be able to work with that person. I don't know what that, yeah, I mean, you absolutely can, but I just think that LeBron just needs to take a step back, man. Let these people have their shine. And maybe he will. Maybe he'll do it. Maybe he's just trying to fill a space. But Kyrie and him have been going with this love affair for each other the past couple of days. This is Kyrie's time to shine. This is Kyrie's time to shine. Him and LeBron. Look, I thought it was a huge mistake for Kyrie to leave when he left. And why he left. He basically said he wanted to be in charge of, he wanted to run his own team or wanted to be the man on his own team. And it didn't work out that way. Some people are meant to be number ones. Some people are meant to be number twos. Kyrie is meant to be a number two. Nothing wrong with that. Not to mention, he is an outstanding future Hall of Fame basketball player. Nothing wrong with that or not. Nothing wrong with that. So, and that's just the bottom line. But this love affair that LeBron is doing, you just got to stop. You know, admire from afar. Let the finals be over. Then you can talk and say the stuff that you need to say. Right now, let these people have their shine, LeBron. It's okay. It's okay. You wanted to be part of the conversation right now? Win more basketball games. That's all I got to tell you. Win more basketball games. So, now, having said that, it was, I don't know, when they linked up, here's a good comment here, is that Kyrie and LeBron linked up early. Imagine them together, that point for being together from that point for 10 years. Yeah. Yeah. Number one, do we think that LeBron goes to LA if Kyrie is stayed in Cleveland? Do we think that? I don't know. It's a good conversation. It's a good conversation. Or do they both end up going to Los Angeles? I don't know. I don't know. And when we're talking about sports partnerships like that don't usually last that long. Not these days. Now, in previous generations, a couple decades ago, they lasted forever. Guys got together and they didn't leave. You know, but things are different now. People change teams from time to time. It's just what happens. You know, I think the last one that we've seen, look at Curry, Clay, and Draymond. They've stayed together and they've won. But they also won when somebody else came aboard. You know, another superstar in Kevin Durant. But I think it would have been interesting if Kyrie and LeBron would have stayed together. I would have liked to have seen that. I really would have. I would have liked to have seen what that looked like. Because I think if they both could have just managed ego, I think it would have been okay. I think if they both could have managed ego, it would have been okay. So I'm the opposite, Big B, says my man Austin. Not a LeBron fan, but this is a non-issue. I think things ended badly for those two in Cleveland. They're making up, and Kyrie could probably use the confidence right now. I don't know if Kyrie needs the confidence. I don't think he's ever lacked confidence. So I don't think that. And things ended badly because Kyrie wanted to leave. And I think he disrespected LeBron in the way he wanted to leave and was public about his disrespect. So, but that was a while ago. And I don't think it's an issue. I mean, I don't think I've said that it was an issue. What I think is an issue, I think LeBron just needs to let Kyrie have his due. Let him have his time. You know, just let him have his time. I don't think he needs to be in the spotlight about it. I just let the man have his time. You know, there's a time and a place for you to say those things. Wait till after the series is over. You don't have to do that now. It's okay. It's okay. So, hopefully that they're working this stuff out, obviously behind the scenes, and it's not just all for public fodder, because that would be unfortunate if they're doing these things through social media and press conferences and podcasts, all this stuff, but they actually haven't actually had a conversation. Now, if that was the case, that would be, like I said, that would be unfortunate and ridiculous. So hopefully all that stuff is worked out, and it probably is. It probably is. Again, none of us really know, um, and it's all speculation. But either way, I just Kyrie is. There's a lot of people. It's they either love him or they hate him. And Kyrie, he even admitted, those years that he was in Boston, he wasn't his best person. That wasn't his best self. And even after that he left, that just wasn't his best self. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. But maybe he needed to learn how to be that. And I think probably he should have stuck around a little bit longer with LeBron to learn how to deal with a lot of these expectations and stuff that comes along. So that's kind of my thing, is maybe he should have learned how to deal with being the guy. Bron likes the "I knew it and I told you so and I said that" shine. Yeah, LeBron does. He absolutely does. I've been telling you guys, yeah, that is a LeBron James ism. If I've never heard it, that is his thing. That is his thing. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. Hopefully, um, like I said, that those two have worked things out and have gotten some things together. So, as a reminder, if you're not already, please make sure that you click on the link in the bio. It's already frozen up on me. So make sure you guys click on that link in the bio and come on over to the live link here. Appreciate everybody. Now let's move on and talk about what we really want to talk about today. These NBA finals, people. Let's talk about these NBA finals. Look, I've been on record, and I'll go on record again. I am rooting for the Dallas Mavericks. I don't have any ifs, ands, or buts. No, I am rooting for the Dallas Mavericks to win the NBA title. But I'm picking the Boston Celtics to win it in 6. I think Boston is just better. They've got the guys that they have, including their bench. I believe that they just have a better team than the Dallas Mavericks. Now, we did this last week and we kind of ranked the players from top to bottom. And if you do the rankings, look, Luka is the best player in this series. I got Luka, then I've got Jason Tatum, then I've got Kyrie, then it's Jaylen Brown, then it's Drew Holiday, Derek White. Flip a coin to decide which order you want to put them in. The Celtics have better players. So it's going to be interesting to see. Now, Derek Lively, how he plays, I think that's going to be a big key. PJ Washington, how he plays, I think that's going to be a big key. I think a guy that's kind of fallen out of favor in Dallas, I think he's going to have to get some minutes and be able to knock down shots, is Tim Hardaway Jr. He was the third leading scorer for the Mavericks this season, and he's playing about 8 minutes a night in the playoffs. He is completely fallen out of the rotation. Now, part of that because he can't guard anybody in this chat, so that's a problem, but you would think that he would be out there a little bit more to help. And I think in this series, he's going to have to be. I think they're going to need some of the things that he brings to the table. I just believe that. So, yeah. And Wakan is right. If it comes to bench play, Dallas is in deep trouble. Yeah, they are. They are. And if Porzingis plays, Dallas is in even more trouble. If Porzingis is 70, 75%, I don't know if the series can get to 6 games. I really don't. Now, if Porzingis is out there half speed and can't go, whatever, then yeah, it'll go 6 games. But if Porzingis is out there and he's at 70 to 75%, I'm not sure that this goes to 6. I'm just not sure that happens. Would I love it to happen? Yeah. Like I said, I'm rooting for Dallas. And who knows? Maybe Luka and Kyrie get in a groove to no matter what Boston does. Because Boston's got 4 great, I shouldn't say great, but really good. They have 2 great defenders and 2 other really, really good defenders that they can throw at those guys. But as we all know in basketball, good offense always beats good defense, no matter what. You can be as good a defense, not give me any airspace whatsoever. But if I'm making shots, and it doesn't matter what you do. So hopefully that happens. Because, again, if they get in a groove, there's not going to be anything Boston can do about it. Now, on the flip side, there's problems. It's like last series, Luka, you could hide him. Hell, they even put him on Rudy Gobert sometimes and switch it, and they just dealt with the switch. If Porzingis is out there, what is Dallas going to do? Like, if they have a lineup of Derek White, Drew Holiday, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Porzingis, where exactly are you going to hide Luka? It can't be on Drew Holiday or Derek White or Tatum because they're going to break them down with the dribble. Jaylen Brown is way too athletic for Luka. And again, Luka has played better defense this year. It's not good defense. It's still bad defense, but it's been better than what it has in the past just because he's given some effort. But it's still bad. Having said that, I don't know where you hide him in this series. So we'll see what happens. But I'm just not sure where you can hide Luka in this series. It becomes troublesome. And you definitely couldn't put him on Porzingis. Now, the best chance is when Al Horford is in the game. When Al Horford is the big guy in the game, you can put Luka on him. And you can live with that. Because Al Horford is not going to do anything to you in the post anymore. He doesn't possess those skills any longer. I mean, he's a decent rebounder, but you can't just throw it to him in the block and him go score. He's not doing that anymore. And he's definitely not breaking you down off the dribble. He's a stand and shoot jump shot guy now. So that's what Luka could do on the defensive end. But we'll see. There's going to be a lot of pressure that Boston is going to put on him. And again, my man Wakan said it best. If it gets into a bench type of a thing, then Dallas is going to be in trouble. They'll be in trouble. So now here's a good point. Braden says, I don't think Kristaps is healthy. You know what, Braden? I think you're right. I don't think he is either. Because we've seen that calf injury with a lot of people. That's a 6-week to 2-month type of injury. That's what it is. And it hasn't been that long. They're talking about he come back and he's playing here and, he might do there and all that. I don't know. Like I said, I'm just not sure that he's healthy. I'm just not sure. I'm not positive. And if he isn't, and we're going to know game one, because I think Boston will probably throw him out there because he's going to want to play. It's the NBA Finals. He's going to want to play. We'll know early. And about 5-6 minutes in, we'll know whether he's healthy. So it won't take long, but I think you're on to something, Braden. I don't think he's healthy. I don't. And it's unfortunate. Who the hell wants to miss the NBA Finals? But, I mean, injuries are part of sports. So let me ask you guys, who do you got? You got Boston, you got Dallas, and in how many games? Let me know. Let's talk about it. So let's find out what you guys think about this one. Like I said, I am rooting for Dallas, but I say Boston in 6. My man Braden says Boston in 6. Yeah, that's what I believe too. Boston in 6. Boston in 6. It's going to be tough for Dallas to win, but you never know, man. Here's the one thing that I do know, and this will get everybody, up in arms and all this. Dallas is going to win one of these 2 games in Boston. Now, we do know that, right? We're okay with that. So we're definitely okay with that. I don't think there's any question that Dallas is going to win one of those 2 games that happen in Boston. And the reason that I say that, we know what Boston does in the playoffs. Is that they're going to give you a game. Hell, they tried to give the Pacers 2 games. They definitely tried to give them game 1. The Pacers just said, no, we don't want it. We don't want game 1. We don't want that. We don't want that. So they tried to do that then, but the Pacers didn't want the game. So then they turn around in Indianapolis. They tried to give the Pacers game 3. Nope. Didn't want that one either. I'm like, man, y'all just don't want to win, do you? So it is what it is. It is what it is. So we'll find out. We will find out. But I definitely think Dallas wins one of those games. I do. I think they win game 1 or game 2. Dallas will win. But I think the series is going to end up going 6. It's going to go 6. My man Capone says Mavs in 7 or – now, hold on, Capone. We didn't say either or. What are you picking? Stand on something, my man. Stand on something. Don't do this wishy-wash, Mavs in 7 or Celtics in 6. No. We're not doing cop-out. Hell, well, I believe that the Mavs are going to win in 4, 5, 6, or 7. The Celtics are going to win in 4, 5, 6, or 7. One of those is going to happen. Come on, man. Stop it. Stand on something and say it with your chest. Lord have mercy. You should be ashamed, ex Capone. You know better than that, man. Boston bought that ticket. Got to take the good and the ad with the unicorn. Yeah, you're right. And I mean, hell, Porzingis has been hurt his entire career. His entire career. So it kind of is what it is, unfortunately. I am interested in that storyline that we've seen that Porzingis and Luka don't like each other. Luka tried to downplay it and said they don't have a problem. Yeah, they got a problem. Luka didn't like playing with them, and Porzingis didn't think he gave him the ball enough. So I always thought that was a weird mix of that trade anyway. So there we go, Capone. Celtics in 6. There we go. Just say that. Just say that. And you're like me. You want Dallas to win, but you think the Celtics are going to win in 6. I mean, there ain't nothing wrong with that. So, my man Austin, Vegas loves and has loved Boston all year. I'll say the winner tonight wins the series. I don't think it necessarily is the winner tonight. I mean, it may end up that way, but like I said, Boston will give you a game at home in the playoffs. That's just what they do. They'll give you a game. Now, here's the one thing to know is that Dallas has been closing out games not only last series, but in the entire playoffs. Crazy. So you let Dallas stay close, they will end up stealing games from you. I mean, hell, other than game 5 in Minnesota, the first 4 games with 5 minutes to go in the first 4, Minnesota led. In the first 4 games, they led with 5 minutes left. Dallas ended up winning 3 of those games. They have closed out games like a banshee, not only last series, but in this entire playoffs. So Boston better be on their P's and Q's, because if they let the game be that close, number one, Dallas is not going to panic. That's number one. But number two, they have figured out how to close out games. I think that's something that people's got to got to understand. Dallas has been closing games very, very well. So I bet a large percentage of public money is on Boston tonight, says my man Braden. Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. So the smart money would be on Dallas. Yeah, for sure. For sure, smart money would be on Dallas. So, let's see. Boston needs to keep the foot on the pedal and not play stop and go with Dallas. Yeah, no, they don't. They don't. I think Austin said it best because Austin believes if they mess around and they give Dallas a game tonight, that they're going to lose the series. My man Austin is on record. I don't think I don't believe that, but I don't think I don't think that's an outlandish take. I don't. By saying whoever wins tonight is the winner, I don't think it's an outlandish take. I don't necessarily agree, but if push came to shove, I could get behind that. Yeah, absolutely. Especially if Boston leads the whole game and then Dallas comes back and wins in the end. Yeah, that to me, that's the bigger problem. And Dallas isn't going to panic. Hell, what were they down 20 in the third quarter to Minnesota and said, okay, that's enough, and came back and won the game. What was that, game 2? Yeah. Down 20, third quarter. And okay, let's turn up the defense a little bit and let's come back. And then Luka turned Rudy Gobert into the dancing machine and busted his head with that 3 at the end of the game. So I don't know. I don't know, man. I love the fact that Dallas doesn't panic in those situations. But they got those two guards, man, that can do it all. They can create not only for themselves, but create for others. They got those two guys. And if we're being honest, the key to this series is Jason Tatum. If Jason Tatum is the guy that people keep saying that he is, he will be the difference. Look, Jaylen Brown has played crazy this year. He's played even better in these playoffs. I will say if Dallas still forces him left, it's a problem. So we're going to see how that works out. Just force him left. Let's see what happens. But having said all of that, Jason Tatum is the key, man. It's now or never. Okay? I don't want to keep hearing about how he's this, he's that, he's this. Okay, it's time to show it. It's time to show it. Now, what I will say, there's nothing wrong with Jason Tatum, the way that he's playing, the way that he is right now. There's nothing wrong with that. All NBA guy, one of the top 10 players in the league. Hell, who the hell wouldn't want that career? But people talk about him like he's better than that. Well, if you're better than that, at some point you got to show you're better than that. All the talk has to stop. We need to see it. We need to see it. So, Braden says Luka is somehow still underrated. Has had an all-time great start to his career. I don't think Luka's underrated. Who is Luka underrated by? I don't think Luka's underrated by anybody. Hell, people compare him and say that he's more skilled than Larry Bird. Now, those people are idiots, okay? But that's the sentiment that goes around on social media. But I don't think Luka's underrated at all. Matter of fact, I've never heard anybody talk about Luka being underrated or not as good as what people perceive. I've never heard that. I don't think Luka's underrated at all. I think people talk bad about his defense, and they had been right. They're still right. But he did give better effort on defense this year. Now, you're going to get the casual fan that they look at nerd statistics. Well, look at his defensive win shares. Look at his defensive rate. Hey, man, nobody cares about that. Why don't you just watch basketball? Okay? Luka doesn't keep anybody in front of him. Has he given way more effort on defense this year? Absolutely, he has. He's gotten in the way. He's tried. He's rotated. All those things he didn't do at all previously. And there's still spots that we've seen in the playoffs where you watch, you're like, Luka, that's your guy. And he doesn't get out there. We've seen it. But he has given more effort. But all these people, oh, look at his defensive rating. Look at his win shares. Oh, please shut up. Nobody cares, man. That's a product of team defense. Okay? Luka doesn't keep anybody that can dribble in front of him. He doesn't do that. Stop it. Stop. But what he has done, and I will give him credit, he has given more effort on defense this year. He has. That still doesn't mean that it's not bad defense. Just because you gave more effort, that doesn't mean that the effort it has equated to anything. It just means that you're giving the effort. Well, good. You're supposed to give the effort. Last time I checked. But that's just me yapping. That's just me out there yapping. So hopefully that gets done, man. Hopefully that gets done. We'll see. I'm trying to put this back up here. Hopefully we can pick some people, get some people in. Boom, boom, boom. All right. So we'll see. Let's open it up. Let's go to open mic session. Let's open this thing up, people. So what do we think? My man X Capone, I think he's talking about Jason Tatum. It's time to put up or shut up. I agree. It's time. Tatum feels like he's in the back seat a lot. If he's a superstar, go take over when Brown and the Celtics need it. Absolutely. It's time for him to drive the bus and not just be on the bus or even in the front seat of the bus. It's time for you to drive. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I think he can. So, Big B, do you think Darren Waller retires or does he play this season? Man, first off, I'll be honest with you. I don't care. I saw that video. I reluctantly looked at it yesterday. I've been pushing it off, and I'm like, I'm not going to watch this. Everybody says it's cringe. But you guys brought it up and said I needed to watch it. I watched it. It was as cringy, and I was just like, what the hell is going on with this guy, man? But whatever. I've never been divorced, so I don't know what that's like. So maybe that's a problem. Maybe you go through some stuff, man. So I'm not here to talk about that. But bottom line is, I think he retires. I think he does. I think the Giants actually want him to retire because I think that they owe him like $12 million or something. And I don't think they want to pay him. And they could save all that if he actually retires. Like, that doesn't go on their cap. So I think they want him to retire. They drafted a guy. They brought in some guy. They've moved on from Darren Waller. So, hopefully, whatever's best for him, that's what I want him to do. Whatever's best for him, that is what I want Darren Waller to do. So hopefully he makes the best decision for himself. I did see this morning that the Lakers are going after Dan Hurley to make him their new coach, the head coach out of UConn. I thought that was very interesting. Kind of a backdoor behind the scenes kind of a thing. If I'm him, it basically comes down to this. If I'm Dan Hurley, do I want to risk being an all-time legend at the college ranks? Because they won back-to-back titles. They got a good chance to win it again next year. But he has built this into a perennial powerhouse. But like UConn, not that they weren't always good, but they went through a rough patch before he got there. And all I'm saying is they could be the best team every single season, talked about every year. He has built it back up into that. So does he want to continue to do that and just go down as an absolute legend? Or has he decided, you know what? I've done everything that I can do at this point. They're offering me, I would guess the Lakers are probably going to have to give the man anywhere between $10 and $15 million a year, probably for a 6 to 7 year deal, because he's going to demand that. because of what the Lakers have done with coaches. I mean, the Lakers go through coaches faster than we can change underwear. So he's not going to give this up, number one, unless you pay me a ton of money. And number two, unless you give me the long-term security that I need to get this thing going the right direction and put in an actual system. That's going to take some time. Well, okay. If that's what they want to do, maybe that's his thing. You know what? I'm going to the top of the mountain. It doesn't get bigger than being the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers, does it? I mean, when you're talking about basketball, I mean, is there a better job than the Lakers? I don't think so. I mean, the three best jobs, or biggest jobs, I should say, maybe not the best, but the three biggest jobs, the Lakers, the Knicks, the Celtics. I mean, if I'm wrong, you guys please correct me. But I don't think it gets bigger than the Lakers when you're talking about basketball, head coaching basketball. So there he is. And maybe he's decided that's what he should do. So, Austin, I love this take. He should call Rick Pitino and John Calipari, even Nick Saban, if he thinks about a jump to the pros. 1,000%. And here's the thing about Rick Pitino. Rick Pitino had success in the pros first. See, people forget that. They only think of the Boston disaster. No. When Rick Pitino first went to the pros, that was after he was at Providence. He goes and coaches the Knicks, and the Knicks were playing well. He didn't fail at the Knicks. He succeeded tremendously with the Knicks. He just left the Knicks to go to Kentucky because he loved coaching college basketball more than he did love coaching pro basketball. But then the Celtics came calling, and the Celtics had a Celtics paycheck, and he said, okay, I got to leave. And it didn't work out. John Calipari, an absolute disaster in the pros at two different stops. Just a disaster. He's a college coach. Nick Saban even knew it. He knew it. But you know what? The Dolphins had a Miami Dolphin paycheck. But he went back to Alabama. And what he ended up finding out at Alabama, you know what? If I build this thing up enough, Alabama's got the same paycheck that the Miami Dolphins have. And that's what happened. He didn't need to leave. So those are things that people you gotta weigh. I love that take, Austin. Absolutely. Call those people. Or call Mike Krzyzewski. Call Coach K. You don't think Coach K had a minimum of 20 offers to go coach in the pros while he was at Duke? And he didn't take it. Go ask him what he should do. I love it. And personally, I don't think he should go. I don't. I think people now again, I say that, and if they offer the man 10, 12, $15 million a year, my conversation or my answer is going to change, because I don't think that UConn is in any financial position to offer him anything close to that. It's not like college football, or it's not like he coaches at Kentucky or Indiana, or Kansas, where they have the resources to pay him a ton of money. Maybe not $15 million a year, but they can get 8 to 9. But UConn doesn't have those kinds of resources. So I don't even know what a salary is right now, but I'm guessing it's probably around the $2 to $3 million range. To jump that up to 12, I mean, what are we talking about? But if the money was the same, or if money wasn't an object, I would say don't take the job. That's what I would say. I would say don't take the job. And the reason that I'm saying that is because, number one, you're going to the Lakers. With who's on the Lakers currently, LeBron, you're the scapegoat. Darvin Ham didn't do a bad job with the Lakers. Now, we could talk about, Anthony Davis saying there's too many times we didn't know what we were doing and we were lost out there. We can say all that, and he can make him the scapegoat. Darvin Ham didn't do a bad job. The team that they lost to is better constructed, and they are better than the Lakers. They just are. Denver's better than the Lakers. But how many of you out there thought if the Lakers played Oklahoma City in the first round versus Denver, they would have won? Other than my man Pat Cockrell, who's a diehard OKC fan, everybody thought the Lakers were going to beat OKC if they played them in the playoffs. Everybody thought that. Everybody thought that's who they should have played. But they played a team that they don't have a good matchup with and got beat early. You're telling me if they go back to the conference finals that they're going to fire Darvin Ham? Well, they might, but they would be idiots. So Darvin Ham didn't do a bad job. He didn't. They didn't lose because Darvin Ham didn't know what he was doing. That's not the case. So, says Hurley is around $5 million per year total right now between base and supplement. Yeah, $5 million. I don't know, man. From 5 to 12. And again, he's going to want the security. Like, he's not getting no 3 or 5 year head coaching job. And maybe it's 5 years, but okay, 5 years at $12 million. But it's not going to be a 3-year deal to go coach the Lakers. He's not going to do that. He's not going to do that. You're going to give me 5 years and you're going to give me $12 million. And if you don't, I'm not taking the job. Because, again, I'm not counting anybody's pockets, but from 5 to 8 for 3 years, that's not enough. Not with what I've gone. Not to mention, this 5 could turn into 8 over the next 5 years based on what we do and what's going on right now. So why would I give up? First of all, he could coach at UConn for how long? The next 20 years if he wants to? I mean, so why give all that up unless the money is so significant that he has to? That's my thing. That's my thing. I like guys that stay and build and say, you know what? Yeah, I could make a boatload more money or more money, but I can also still be filthy rich and stay right where I'm at, where I'm comfortable, and not have to have added pressure of no matter what, everything is my fault. Because the way that the Lakers are constructed right now, whenever they lose a game, it's always going to be his fault, no matter what. So that's all I say. So that's all I say. If Hurley wants it, this is what K-Ned said. If Hurley wants it, great, take it. Just stop all the preaching. Who's preaching? Hope you ain't talking to me. It wasn't a simple, I want to be here. It was preach, 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 culture. Oh, yeah, that's what Danny Hurley, that's who you're talking about. That's what Danny Hurley always said. It was culture. Money isn't everything. That's what he did. Yep, you're right. You're right. That's exactly what Danny Hurley was talking about. That's what he preaches. Culture. Culture, culture, culture. Well, money changes that, doesn't it? You know, money changes that, especially when it comes to him. So we'll see. We'll see. I like the idea of him staying. I do. So, but again, if you had an opportunity to live in Los Angeles and you could go live on the beach and make $12 million a year, that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing, people. So we're going to shut this one down for today. I appreciate everybody being in here. NBA Finals are tonight. Looking forward to it. I'm not sure who you got. I said Celtics in 6. I'm rooting for the Mavs. My man Austin brought up a good point. He thinks whoever wins tonight is going to win. Good point. Give me the Mavs tonight. I don't think the Mavs necessarily are going to win the series, although I'm rooting for them. But give me the Mavs come out firing tonight and stealing one in Boston. You know Boston's going to give you a game anyway. You know they're going to do that at home. That's what they do. Give me the Mavs tonight. I'll holler at you guys tomorrow, man. Aloha.